with doing a spring ball jump in some place like worst room in the game, you probably can do that. Okay, Chidi calling for that wave beam to the first side. What do you think?
I want it to be X-ray personally. I love some of the X-ray strats are amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Get a little bit of moonfall from Derp. Looks like crossproduct's not using it. I'm pretty certain Cross uses it, so let's see.
Yeah, it
There
looks
we
like it
go.
is.
Almost sync moonfall. It's a little bit off. And we're going out on a limb by Mad Matt 1183 with that first item being an E-tank.
Oh, it's a bold prediction.
Let's say I'm gonna go for that spring ball. And morph. Okay, well, we'll see what the stealing item is. Maybe one of us will get that.
No one had morph at morph. What the hell?
It's always nice to get that morph ball first because you can go pick up this first ammo item right away and have a better idea of if and which ammo item you might have to chase as they both go down to check it. And it's just missiles, so they're going to be searching for something.
Yeah, the interesting one is if it's power bombs, whether they go check Billy Mays.
Yeah, I think Cross might. I doubt Derp will.
I actually really like the Billy Mays check, but not too many people make it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Chances are, even if it does have your supers, there are going to be other supers available. That said, I have played a seed that was your first supers in Plasma. Ooh.
Nice.
And there's those power bombs. We'll see if either one takes that trip up.
Yeah, plasma is going to help killing enemies much faster.
Oh, neither one's going to check Billy Mays. Okay.
That's fair. With plasma, I guess, it kind of takes a bit of the pressure off needing ammo. If your beam is really weak, then you might feel like you need more ammo to help with other stuff.
And both checking the left of Morph, and Derp deciding not to pick up the missiles there. Cross does.
Yeah, I imagine both of them are going to check Old Mother Brain Room too.
Yeah, usually that's kind of what you see. This one and probably a 230 missiles check as well. Oh, and Derp has to waste extra power bomb there because he fired it just a block too early. But fortunately for him, he gets those super missiles and won't have to do any more extra checks. So now we got supers, we've got power bombs. We don't have enough power bombs to check Gauntlet. So I don't expect anyone to go there.
No, I mean, they could see what the major was, but if it wasn't anything that could break block, they couldn't get back out again.
Okay, Derp going to be the first one down to BT.
What does he have?
Any tank.
Disappointing.
Yeah, but at some point you need to get some energy.
I mean, I heard not dying is quite good for races.
It is pretty much I think it's the number one strat, not dying. Okay, let's see what we have at Terminator. Ooh, and Derp jumping right over the reserve tank. The question is, will he remember to jump over it at the end?
Yeah, that's also, like, this early on with only one E-tank, they don't know if they might have to do hell runs, so I learned my lesson never to turn down very early reserve tanks.
Yeah, I'm the same. Until I have Varia or until I'm done with hell runs, which basically means I've done all of Norfair without Varia, I don't like to turn down any kind of tank.
Yeah, I agree.
But then again, neither of us is in the top 16, so.
That is also true. I mean, reserve tanks can be like having one reserve. I think is nice because it does open up kind of a few different things, a few different like bits of tech.
And more regular missiles. See how many of these derp decides to keep.
Ooh,
And grapple beam. Well, that'll open up X-ray and could be a precursor of some suitless Meridia action. We haven't seen that yet in the playoffs, so that would be kind of neat.
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of seems unlikely that a variable logic could force suitless Meridia because the progression speeds being all over the place. The likelihood of suits being buried seems kind of unlikely.
It would be interesting to know what those percentages are. I remember that was a big thing in the tournament in 2017, getting that suitless Meridia percentage. But even at the beginning of that tournament, when it was like 2%, you still saw it quite a bit, so it'd be interesting. Okay,
Was it
let's
really
see.
that low?
That's what I've been told.
Wow.
Okay, what do we got at the Etacoons? Runs right into the spacer beam. Oh, poor derp. And I suspect crossbow too. That one's a hard one to skip anyway. See when derp decides to do what I call the menu of shame as he turns his phaser off for plasma. This part of the game, there really is no need to. Most of these enemies you're expected to only have the pea shooter, so having a spacer is an upgrade from that. But at some point when he menus, he's going to probably turn that off. You might just wait for a convenient time.
Yeah, well, actually, spacer is probably a bit more helpful because the beam for plasma is so narrow that it can make hitting things more difficult, whereas spacer beam is huge.
Let's see if Cross manages to run into the spacer too. Yep.
Oh man, so much shame.
So far, we've been pretty super light though in general. So they don't find charge beam, or if they don't find more supers, it's going to make it interesting to if they have things like various suit to get down to lower Norfair, whether they choose to go or not.
Yeah, it was a lot of missiles very early on. Although we have seen some seeds, at least in the regular season, where it was very missile heavy early on, but as soon as you got sort of past Kraid, like everything was supers. Ooh. And Cross turns off Spazer right away. Well, more or less right away.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what's that charge. And it's just reserve. Derp says nope. Cross turning down some more missiles.
It was an E-tank at wave gate, right?
It's reserve. Oh, E-tank at wave, yes. And reserve a charge.
Nice. Cross uses the normalized setup for that one. So going up is a possibility, but I don't think either of them will.
Yeah, right now to go up, their only choice is a CWJ. Both are more than capable of doing that, and it is in logic. It could be forced, although I have yet to see a seed where it is. It's the odds of being forced basically means all the items that get you across would have to be hidden in places like Lower Norfair and Suitless Meridia and all that sort of stuff. So.
I mean, they do have grapple to get across, but it's
never mind. They have grapple.
The speed of checks in wreck ship.
They don't have speed booster, and not having speed booster means there could be one item to leave behind. But yeah, you're right. Grapple, easy to forget. Oh, and looky there.
Okay. Well, going up would have been bad.
Well, he could go up still.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, some runners will check X-ray and then go up. Others will go up and then check X-ray on the way back.
Actually, gravity does speed up the checks in wreck ship quite a lot.
Yeah, especially going through spiky room of death. You still have to be super careful. Since some of those spikes are still environmental damage and will do a lot of damage. but at least you can move much more freely since the water physics doesn't affect you. Okay, looks like Derp is going to go down. Cross is going to check the X-ray location first, and then we'll see what he does. Derp still stubbornly sticking to that spazer.
He might be making a statement at this point.
Maybe. I
He'll keep it
suspect
on
he'll
the whole
just...
time.
Yeah, or he'll just keep it on until he has to menu for something else. Let's hope he doesn't forget he has plasma. And just an E-tank. Ooh, crossproduct falling all the way down. That's rough. This is actually, without high jump boots, this is actually a very difficult spot for crossproduct. He's going to have to take a spike hit, and he gets back up. And those spikes
nice
do like
recovery.
60 damage without suits, so... With high jump boots, I believe you can jump up high enough to grab it with the grapple beam.
Yeah, you can. X-ray is a room where if it goes wrong very quickly.
Oh, it sure does. Crossproduct picking up that gravity suit. Unfortunately, that's not going to help him against those spikes, so he's gonna have to try really hard not to fall down, but he should be fine.
Man, those waivers are not making it easy.
No. Well, there's no question. Those waivers are there to knock you off that grapple beam, so... Okay, Derp going to be the first to get to Kraid. Ooh, not
nice.
quite timing right on that quick kill, so he's going to have a nice stood up Kraid.
Yeah, he went for the normal shot setup, which is the one I like the most, but it's a bit tight for timing.
Okay, it doesn't last too long. Sits Kraid right back down, and let's see what we got. Ooh, charge beam. I'll see if he remembers to turn that plasma beam on now.
Yeah, right.
And if we get a little X-ray scope action, we might get some microwave beam.
Yeah, I mean, this now really becomes the search for Varia and some kind of other movement item.
Yep.
Like one more would put them pretty much in go mode.
Yeah, if they found high jump, space jump, even bombs or spring ball will allow them to get through worst room in the game. Obviously, you want Varia as well. If you're good at low percent ice, ice beam can also make that happen. I know crossproduct does a lot of low percent ice, or at least has done it in the relay. Derp, I'm not sure what his comfortability would be with that strat.
Ooh, and a wave beam at Crady Tank.
Always a nice item to find.
Yeah, I mean, they will have to either find a fair chunk. Well, they'll have to find 2 more power bomb packs or ice or speed as well.
Yeah, well, Cross for sure can do the Crystal Flash Clip. He'll grab those power bomb packs and not care whether he gets ice or speed. I don't know if Derp does the Crystal Flash Clip.
I mean, the clip without regular bombs is significantly harder to...
Yep. Yeah, you want that Cross. I always like it when you can tell when runners are starting to want to skip E-tanks when they start turning around before they see what the item is. And then, it's like, oh, wait, I want that. Okay, so with 4 tanks and 2 reserves available, hell runs are very much in logic. And 20 supers for Derp. Both of the last 2 being at high jump boost. I suspect Cross will pick those up as well. And of course, now they have charged plasma. Any consideration of ammo. Ridley will not be an ammo issue. Let's put it that way,
Yeah,
because
no,
they've got
definitely.
that charged plasma and actually charged wave plasma now for both runners. That's a 24-shot Ridley fight. It's not terrible.
Yeah, so Derp is gonna save before making this hell run twice.
Yeah, 2 reasons to do that. If you mess it up, you won't have to backtrack and die if he dies. On the other hand, also, if the item is a reserve tank, he'll probably reset.
I wonder. I wonder if he'd even reset on an E tank.
Well, he got screw attack. I don't think he's going to reset that. That just will make lower Norfair when they get there so much easier.
Yeah, without although with plasma they would have been able to kill the things down there anyways.
Yep.
But yeah, it'll make it quicker for sure.
And screw attack really shines in lower Norfair. Crossproduct looks like he's checking ice first. The advantage to that, and this will bear out for him, is the idea being that if Hydrogen Boots then has an E-Tank, that'll fill you up for those hell runs. Looks like Derp's just going to leave. He'll probably maybe go to Meridia next. He can at least check Mama Turtle on his way up to wreck ship if that's his plan.
Yeah, and grapple beam means you won't have to grapple jump across the gravity jump across the top to get out the top of Red Tower. I think I like going to this way, the way the derp's going, more than hell runs. The time lost farming for health is quite significant, really.
Oh, absolutely. The one nice thing about staying in Norfair is you have 5 places you can check, any of which could be your Varia suit. Right now in Meridia, he can check 3 places, 2 of which are big time sinks, one of which is, of course, a huge time sink because it's Shack Tool, the other being the Sand Pin, of course, right here, Mama Turtle. And Derp does pick up the bombs there. With only 5 power bombs, I think that's a good move.
Yeah, and it's interesting. The way around that Cross did it means he is on full health now, so like the hell runs could be more of an attractive option.
Yep. Don't
The
know
way
how much.
Derp did it, he was missing too much health. He'd
Yep.
have to farm up a lot before going.
And that's a long farm.
Yeah.
Don't know how much Cross has in his reserves, but he has a total of 6 tanks. 4 tanks puts this in logic, so he should be fine. And I always like to see a little divergence.
Yeah, and I actually like the decisions both of them made at the time that they diverged were the right things to do, I think.
Yep. And Cheaty making a real good point in chat that since Derp didn't get those reserve tanks, these hell runs are a little less safe. He's just barely at that threshold of putting it in logic, whereas Cross has those 2 extra reserve tanks.
Yeah, although sometimes reserves are kind of more of a psychological help than an actual help if you don't farm them up before going in.
Absolutely. Okay, Cross Product, I think, is trying to decide whether to do Bubble Mountain or go down to Croc. Kind of like the idea of the Croc play since he has Wave Beam, so he doesn't have to worry about gate glitching. Plus, the Croc rooms are not heated. But looks like he's trying to head up. That wall jump is... I think it's doable. I believe it's because it's supposed to be just like the... just an E-tank at the sand pit for Derp.
If
wall
that
jump
wall jump is doable, then I think it has to be pixel perfect.
Yeah, I believe it's the same as the wall jump in Worst Room. And so again, doable is a is a strong term. Yeah, it's not one I would want to spend a lot of time on. There are other ways to get to that area. Yeah, Derp check the sand pit, decides not to gamble on Shack Tool. I don't blame him for that. That's it's quite the time sink, and unless you get payoff, Literally unless Fairy is there, it's not worth it.
Yeah. Although you can save scum the pickup, not not to lose too much time for it.
Hmm. Okay, and Derp decides to go back down and do his Norfair checks. And of course, the other nice thing about Croc is with the charged plasma, you saw how quick that fight was.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So to answer the question in chat about which hell runs, anything in Upper Norfair. So once you go down that elevator and hear that music for Lower Norfair, none of those are in Logic.
So I think this will actually put Cross fairly significantly ahead. Depending on what they find here,
Yep.
the fact it will affect whether Cross makes more checks in Meridia. And if they find, say, Varia or Ice or Speed, then that will probably put Cross into go mode, so he won't be wasting time going to like Mama Turtle and stuff.
Yep. And you'll also notice cross-checking more ammo items because he'd love to get those 2 more power bombs to go ahead and do that crystal flash clip.
Oh, he really would.
He likes to show that off. I mean, he showed that off in an any percent race last summer that I commentated, so. And no one, I think that was one of the only other time we saw Shack Tool in that tournament was when a couple of runners decided to mutually agree to do hundo, so.
Well, he was pulling out the elevator crystal flash in the any percent tournament as well.
Nice. Oh, and Speed Booster. That's, well, rip crystal flash clip. He's probably swearing. I know he wanted to do it.
I mean, he could try it anyway just to make a statement.
Yeah, Derp had to think a second before taking that E-Tank, but considering you need to go through the acid to get back, probably a good call to pick it up. Oh wait, he's got grapple. He doesn't need to go through the acid. I keep forgetting about that grapple beam. Still, if he falls.
I think he's more worried about the exit from Croc. If
Yeah.
there wasn't another E-Tank, which we now know there wasn't, but he
Right.
could have been in trouble.
Well, and the Speed Booster will help in Upper Norfair too, for the Bubble Mountain hell runs. Because Speed Booster is very nice, and of course, getting back, you don't have to go through Cathedral.
Although Speed Booster and no high jump in double chamber can be sad times.
Oh, just trying to get up to the right side of Bubble Mountain with Speed Booster can be a bit of a pain. Yet I often turn that off because, like you say, that lowers your jump height when you hold down. But what basically happens, for those of you that maybe don't know, is when you hold down the run button, it actually lowers your jump height if you have Speed Booster when you don't have high jump boots. The game was not meant to be played without those two on at the same time, so.
Yeah, Derp has bombs, so if worst comes to worst, you can bomb jump up Bubble Mountain, but you can make the jump, you just have to go into the save room first for more, to build up more run speed.
Yep. And it does make it easier, I think, to turn off the Speed Booster. I assume it's doable with that. I know I've never managed to do it.
Oh no, for sure it is doable keeping it on.
Yep, and there goes cross product. He's going to show me it can be done. Or not.
Yeah, he bailed out of that one.
And this is actually a spot where the screw attack helps out because that cack attack, which can get runners when you try and go across. Oh, he's turning off the Speed Booster. It's much easier to deal with that screw attack.
Yeah, I see. I'm not sure even without speed whether if he makes it across, that's like it's a really tough wall jump up to the corner he's trying to hit.
Yeah, there are a lot of things where what he's doing, using that moonwalk to back himself as far as he can. I don't know if that actually works in this case.
No, I think he's gonna have to go into the save room. It's a much easier jump if you run from the save room.
I might get trying to save door transitions, but yeah. Oh, there we go. It is harder. Yeah, definitely landed him lower than you normally would land, but he
Yeah,
managed to save it.
it's like one step lower,
Yep.
and it's a really, really tight wall jump to get over the corner.
Interesting that he's gonna check wave first, though. I guess he figures he's got full energy now. He won't, one less farm to do.
Yeah, that's a. It makes sense, but it's not something I'd ever really thought of doing before.
It is such a more difficult hell run, and I like to figure that I like to do that one last if I can because I have the maximum amount of items slash e-tanks that I can have.
It's true, but also you rarely go in with full health if you're farming in speed in the
Mhm.
Batcave because of the time it takes to get out of the room.
Yep.
So if there wasn't an E tank at speed, then you'd have more health now than you would at any other point.
Okay, let's see. And we have an e-tank at speed. So far, Rebel Mountain with 2 e-tanks.
Ooh, yeah, cross remembering to turn speed back on.
That's a biggie.
Yeah.
Because you can die. Because the game checks to see if you have speed booster. It does not check to see if it's turned on. So you can get killed very, very quickly if you forget to turn that speed booster back on when you're trying to run back out.
And if you don't have gravity, you are in big trouble when that lava starts to come.
Oh, even with gravity, but yeah, without, you're dead. Okay, one last bulb. Oh, X-ray. Well, that'll make Meridia much easier, and not to mention Fantoon, since we
Mm.
now have full microwave beam. So my guess is we're going to see some Meridia action next. Although maybe somebody will make a decision to go to the wreck ship instead.
I think. I mean, not that it didn't before, but I think technically Derp's in go mode, right? With speed to get to
Not
what
without
tree?
Varia.
Oh, sorry, very yeah. Whoops.
But yeah, once he has Varia, he should be fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Although 5 power bombs is a bit sketchy for Turian. Probably wants at least one more or 2
Yeah.
more power bomb packs. Although Ice Beam would be really nice.
I thought Cross was going to turn down X-ray for a moment.
I don't know very many runners that'll turn on X-ray if they already have charge and plasma.
I know of at least one who will. It's
There
Sephi
are,
hates X-ray.
oh, cross product leaving Norfair until he comes back with Varia. So I'd say he's still in the lead. He still has the Mama Turtle check that Derp's already done, so it's not as big of a lead as you might think.
Yeah, and not having Varia means he will have to check there.
Absolutely.
But it is a possibility to full clear the ship now.
Yep. They can pretty much get to anything right now. Now, trying to go lower Norfair with this, yeah, this would be suicide. We have had runners successfully do lower Norfair without Variasuit, but with a much higher ammo count. Right now, they don't have enough for even a single Crystal Flash. And going there, in my opinion, with at least 2 Crystal Flashes, not knowing where E-Tanks could possibly be is very dangerous.
Yeah, they're about 10 supers and 15 power bombs short of wanting to
Yeah.
do that.
Okay. Cross can have an easier time getting this item, and he picks up his bombs.
So with this sort of high five, I think Derp kind of pulls into the lead.
I would agree. Especially since Derp has already checked the sand pit and Cross is not. I suspect Cross would route that in to whatever Shack Tool check whenever he decides to do that, if he decides to do that.
Yeah, I imagine Cross is probably going to go bosses first, and then maybe like Sandpit and Shack Tool on the way out.
Yeah, and I would even, if it were me, I would even consider skipping Shack Tool and Plasma and Sandpit until I've done the wreck ship, but we'll see. It's basically a race to Variasuit right now.
Although if you're feeling spicy, you can check Plasma and then go Forgotten Highway.
Yep. Although everyone said, yeah, it's a question which is faster. I've been told that it's actually still faster not to go Forgotten Highway after you get Plasma unless you don't have Gravity Suit. And that looks like just an E-Tank at Baoon, so sorry, Ross. Not there.
Ooh, Derp nearly got the high jumpless halfie. That is a very, very difficult trick.
A little bit of cross-product showing in SRL. He's very not happy. Very unhappy not getting any power bombs. So, poor Cross, he had to do the intended strat to get through to Baoon.
Man.
I know,
Ranomizer.
life is tough.
Yeah. It's a cruel game.
Well, maybe he'll get it. Maybe he'll get to do it in game 2. We are playing game 2 right after this, so. As far as I know, we're only going 2 games tonight. This is a best 2 out of 3. And this is game 1. Derp making very quick work of Dragon with that microwave beam.
Yeah, with Wave and Plasma, it's a very smooth one round. With just Plasma, it's doable, but it's a little bit more difficult.
Yep, absolutely. And just an E-Tank at Dragon.
Nice.
Cross also making very quick work of Dragon. He'll check the item as well and be disappointed as well. So we are down. There's actually quite a few places left that they can check before Varia would be at Shack Tool. It could be at Shack Tool. Could also be at Plasma. Could also be any of the 4 wreck ship locations. And it could be at Waterway, which we have not seen yet because they did not have Speed Booster when they went through Big Pink.
Yeah, I think if the game was feeling really mean, it would put it at Vanilla Gravity.
Okay, let's see where Derp goes next. And by the way, those wall jumps when you don't have high jump boots are a bit of a pain too.
They are, yeah. It's a very small window to hit.
Okay, Derp is just going to go straight to the wreck ship, it looks like. I like that call. He's already checked the sand pit, so. Oh, and shout out to In No Rush for subscribing for 14 months to Speed Gaming. Or I guess this is Speed Gaming 3, so nice. Okay, so cross product checking Shack Tool makes a little more sense because he can check the sand pit on the way. Let's see what he chooses to do. Oh, looks like he may be doing that.
Yeah, it's a tricky one because every major item that they haven't found is actually really helpful.
Yep. This game 1 could come down to is Varia in Meridia or is it in the wreck ship?
It could also come down to whether ice is somewhere really stupid, and
Yeah.
can somebody find more power bombs?
Yeah, that's true. And Cross sees the E-tank at the sand pit and says, "Nope." Let's see if he goes towards Shack Tool, if he goes up to Plasma, or if he goes look. Okay, so he's going towards Shack Tool and Plasma. Let's see if he's going to check one or both. And of course, there's still Waterway, which frankly, I think at this moment would be the worst. That's would be. I suspect it'll be the last one either one of them will check.
Yeah, there's no nice way of putting that into any kind of route.
Really isn't. And now Cross has to deal with the sand physics here. When you don't have space jump, that
No.
sand starts pushing you down. You can't quite get that wall jump. And actually, without high jump boots, this is actually extremely difficult. I actually don't think you can do that wall jump. You have to do
No.
either a bomb jump or a gravity jump or a spring ball jump. Of course, they don't have spring ball.
Yeah, I think bomb jumping is probably his best bet for this one. I don't know how gravity jumps work out of sand, whether if you're in the sand at all, whether it eats the most of your jump.
Yeah, it's the timing is really difficult because it's hard to tell when that sand is pushing you up versus pushing you down. And Cross is spending a lot of time trying to get up there, and this may not be worth it. And again, this is, by the way, another place you get Crystal Flash Clip to get into Shack Tool. I know he's capable of doing that, but with only one Power Bomb pack, it's not going to happen.
And yeah, X-ray climbing is an option, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I know several runners that would do that. I don't know if Cross Product is one of the ones that likes to do X-ray climb. And this is really going to hurt Cross if he keeps trying to check this.
Unless it's Varia, in which case this is the best play in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if the sand specifically pushes you up, but it does definitely push you down. So it feels like, I always think it feels like it's pushing me up when it's not sending me down. Okay, let's see what's at the right side supers in the wreck ship. Okay, Derp picking up just an E-tank. Cross is going
Okay.
for the X-ray climb. This is actually really neat to watch, so let's see if he can get this.
Yeah,
He's
it's time
gonna
for a
try
disco.
yeah, he's gonna try and get himself caught in the door in a very specific fashion. Oh, and apparently according to Canadian Owl, he's gonna be caught on the wrong side. Yeah, I think you want to climb up on the other. Yeah, I think you're right, Owl.
Wait, can you even X-ray climb for left-facing doors, or is it only right-facing?
I don't believe it has a matter of which way the door is facing as opposed to where you're trying to go.
I don't think I've ever seen an X-ray climb in a left-facing door. All of them are
And
right-facing.
he is stuck. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is a problem.
So what happens if he does go out of bounds here? Is that like a disqualification?
That is a disqualification, but I
Oh
think
no.
I think it's going to be a soft lock too. So he'll have to reset to his previous save, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Ooh, I think his previous save is like
Bubble
Croc
Mountain,
Speedway.
or it might be
Oh
Croc.
no,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, Bubble Mountain, yeah.
it's definitely before he did everything in Norfair. So far, he hasn't gone out of bounds that I can tell yet.
Mm. I mean, this room is very tall, so to get out of bounds vertically is going to take a while.
Okay, we still haven't seen Let's hit the rest of the wreck ship.
I don't know if Derp checked what was in reserve before going this way or not. Okay.
Yeah, I think. I'm not sure Cross is real confident about this. We'll see. You'll notice he. Oh, he just morphed. Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, you want to turn morph ball off in that situation because it will. You can't get out of the wall once you're morphed. So usually you turn that off.
Yeah, so I think he thought he was out the top, and
Yeah.
because he turned gravity and morph back on
Mm-hmm.
to try and escape, but I don't think he was out the top yet.
Well, at least we don't have to disqualify him. And there's the Varia suit at gravity, so
Hey, that's what I
that's going to
called
give
it.
Derp quite the lead.
I mean, the only good thing is Cross knows that there's basically nothing good anywhere. So he just has to go straight back to either to check Shaktul or clear the rest of Meridia.
I really hope that he... Well, he's going to have to do Dragon again. But maybe he'll go to the wreck ship to try and get something there.
That's true.
But at this point,
and
this gives Derp a huge lead, so...
Yeah, he doesn't have X-ray this time. He does have Grapple, which is a fast kill still. But that's going to slow down Fantoon as well.
But yeah, and Derp is in go mode. There's some luxury items that he might want, but I don't know if he'll check for any of them.
Yeah, like you said earlier, I saw more power bombs. Otherwise, he's going to have to refill a lot.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, he's got bombs for lower Norfair. 5 is actually not enough unless you have something like bombs or spring ball or speed or screw attack. So he's got that screw attack and he's got those bombs, so he won't soft lock in lower Norfair unless he... No, he won't soft lock. He can't soft lock.
No.
That is something that can happen without bombs, even if you do have the screw attack or the speed booster. If you don't keep track of that count.
Yeah, the big thing is, I wonder how far out of his way he's going to go to check for things like ice.
I could see checking behind Ridley and Firefly. Those are both fairly quick checks, about the same length of time, because the Firefly doesn't involve a door transition, but I'd be surprised if he goes anywhere else.
Yeah, and Cross is going to check Waterway now.
From Cross's perspective, I actually quite like this. It's not going to be what he wants. But if it had been Varia suit, that would have possibly put him right back in. Yeah, Slaughter's asking for the God Metroid drops. Yep. Yeah, with 5 power bombs, you're pretty much guaranteed to have to refill at least once, and possibly as many as 3 times, depending on those Metroid drops.
Yeah. To be honest, like a really good low speed run still has to refill twice.
Yep. I think you literally have to get power bombs from every drop to not have to do some refilling. I think I've never quite crunched the numbers, but yeah, it's not gonna happen. Let's just say. Oh, Derp gets the spark, but not far enough over to actually make it count. So he's gonna have to do a gravity jump here. It's a little bit trickier with that high jump boots.
It is, but Varia having the increased protection means you lose health very, very slowly.
Yeah. And let's hope Derp remembers to turn that gravity suit back on. Oh, there we go. He's gonna do it on the elevator. Save a little bit, few frames that way.
I do like the lava spark attempt though.
Absolutely. And Cross showing something that a lot of people don't realize is that room just to the left of the climb does exist before the escape, and so you can actually go there and do a short charge to shoot right up the climb if you have speed booster. Wish that was available at the beginning of the game, but you can't get speed booster in one of those first 2 items, so it never happens.
Yeah, that room gets used a little bit in the really old any percent GT code runs where they were using space time.
Oh, derp checking GT. I didn't expect that, and getting my favorite item. That'll make things a little bit easier for him.
I'll make Worst Room and Amphitheater much nicer.
Yeah, he would have had to either do that tricky wall jump or do bomb jumps to get out. Now he can just space jump his way up. And it even makes this fast pillars room, of course, Derp being more than capable of doing the charge through it, but now he can just screw attack his way through. And screw attack, space jump, making worst room in the game, really not.
Yeah, it's not even mildly inconvenient.
Unfortunately, he does not remember to space jump through the door, so he'll have to fall all the way down and then work his way up from there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Derp is a new route runner or old route.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Old route would have space jumped through that door anyways.
Okay, and Cross Product gonna do his Fantoon fight. Unfortunately, yeah, without the X-ray scope, this won't be quite as quick a fight for him.
Well, I think with Charge and Plasma, it's a 2-round.
Now, it's Charge Wave Plasma. Probably should be able to do. I think I know you can 3-shot him in with the Ice Beam. It might be need a fourth shot without.
We'll see. With 4 missiles and then a Charge Wave Plasma shot, I think that should be a 2.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, absolutely. There we go.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, looks like he still needs one more shot.
Oh, wait.
Well, he had a hit with all the missiles too, so.
That's true. That's true. Derp did find some more power bombs.
Probably in the Power Bomb to Shame location. I was too busy watching the Fantoon fight.
I mean, 10 is doable. You only need 2 drops from 9 Metroids, really.
Yeah, going in with 10, worst case scenario is 1 refill. It's not terrible. And this fight would be a 24-shot fight that Derp's doing.
Yeah, he's choosing not to really use supers.
Yeah, I think that was more of a decision not to have to farm, although using those supers would help. Also, it'll give him more supers for Turian, which is always nice, without having to stop at the ship or do extra farming.
Yeah, but without ice, he can't use supers in Torian anyway, so... apart from...
Well, yeah, I use them at the end.
This ammo count means he will have to do speed zeb skip unless he refills the ship.
Yep. I believe Derp is capable of speed zeb skip, but he may want to refill the ship just as a backup.
Yeah, because if you have to shoot your way through that, it's going to leave him on 15 and 9, which is enough, but it's easy to get sniped.
Yeah, I mean, and his other option is a terrible option, which is to do each Zeb one at a time with the missiles and refill, and no one wants to see that.
No, that would be pretty sad times. Is it sort of 12 missiles for each Zeb?
11 if you don't get sniped.
Okay.
I mean, technically it's only 10, but the thing will grow back just enough that it'll take at least 11.
Mm.
At least that's always. I've never seen anyone do it with just 10.
I mean, I wonder if you can physically fire fast enough for it.
Yeah, I think that's the issue. Derp insists on getting the speedball out, and he does get it.
It's not about being fast, it's about sending a message.
Crossing that reserve tank at the reserve tank, and will not want to pick that up.
So Derp really wants to find ice.
But finds high jump boots instead.
So where does that leave? That leaves Shack Tool, Gauntlet, and Plasma.
Yep. Yeah, that's all it leaves. And 2 of those are ice and spring ball. And the other one is, I believe we've seen all 4 reserve tanks, so the other one's just an E-tank.
And they're all so spread apart. There's no nice way of checking more than one of them.
And Derp's still looking for more power bombs. He's not going to find them here. Jumps right into the regular missiles. No. Oh, looks like he is going to check the other escape item and his regular missiles. Cross getting his various suit. Yeah, pretty much Derp's going to have to mess up somewhere for Cross to have any sort of shot at this.
Yeah, or go really, really far out of his way to look for power bombs, but it sort of becomes a kind of cost-benefit thing of how much time you've wasted looking for power bombs versus having to refill once. Yeah, it kind of looks like he's just going to risk it with 10.
There are a couple. He could go through Gauntlet. With space and screw attack, it's a very, very quick check.
There's also Main Street in Meridia that you can spark up for.
Yep.
And Crab Supers.
And of course the Red Tower locations. With 10, I might just check. With 10 and space and screw, I might just check Gauntlet, because then you have 2 items at the end as far as miners, plus you have the possibility of getting Ice Beam in the front.
Yeah, I mean, not that, because Derp hasn't checked everything, not that he knows it, but like a 1 in 3 is not terrible odds for it being ice.
Nope, not terrible at all. Yeah, so for him, I guess it'd be 1 in 4, because he's seen everything but Shack and Plasma and Waterway and Gauntlet, so.
Yeah.
And again, with you're not losing as much time when you have space screw to go through that area. You're definitely losing a little bit of time, but not nearly so much. Plus, it means you won't have to worry about skipping over that reserve tank that he skipped at the beginning of the game. We'll see if he remembers that that's even there.
Oh, man. It'd make me so mad if I forgot that it was there and ran straight into it on the way back.
Yeah, that's why I just picked them up there. It's like, whatever's there, you might as well just grab it. I've seen one person manage to skip that location. Shout outs to Metroid MST if you're watching, when it was something they didn't want. So, oh, there is a power bomb pack.
Ooh, I don't think Derp checked that one.
No, he didn't.
You could have had that one.
And there we go. We're gonna get a Gauntlet check.
Yeah, shoutouts to Fry Guy for this one.
And it's the E-Tank, which means that the Spring Ball and the Ice Beam, one is at Shack and the other is at Plasma.
It could have been a vanilla Spring Ball.
Could be. And we do get a Power Bomb pack at the back end, so Derp does pick up his 15 Power Bombs. That'll make his life a lot easier in Turian. He now does not have to worry about refilling, and he will pick up that extra super pack. It tells me that either he is unable or just simply not confident with the speed Zeb skip and wants extra ammo just in case. That is a very tight short charge. There are a lot of people that can't do that.
Yeah, it's a stutter 3, and going across a door transition makes it much harder.
Meanwhile, crossproduct doing his gravity jump into Lower Norfair.
Nice. Nails it first try. If Derp knows the low, like the low charge list strats for these rooms, you can do them a bit quicker. Looks like he's going to do it the traditional way.
Which isn't too bad a way to do it.
No, not at all. There's just an odd kind of quirk in the game that lets you hit every Metroid in the room at once in rooms 1 and 3.
And crossproduct going to go ahead and check GT as well.
I thought for a moment Cross was going to go check for miners as well.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that he opened the door, so he really wants power bombs. Oh, he'll probably pick the power bombs of shame up, I suspect. Oh, good point, Cheaty. I don't suspect he did go back and get those bombs. In fact, he hasn't even been back up to Meridia, so.
Oh, yeah, that's true. With speed and high jump, we do have baby skip opportunity.
And wave helping out too. Cross remembering to jump into the amphitheater. And a very nice baby skip from Derp.
Yeah, it's very, very clean. So he is going to go for speed Zeb skip.
Yeah, he's at least gonna. Yeah, he looks like he was gonna give it one try. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, it's definitely not worth doing it more than once.
I mean, it's more about saving ammo than saving time anyway. The time you save is about not picking up the ammo, more so than the actual amount of time it takes to. It is certainly faster, but the difference is the ammo you're picking up, not the time it actually takes, more so.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's pre-turning Varia off, so hopefully he doesn't get hit too many times so that he can't stand up. So this should also be a 24-shot Mother Brain too, right?
Yep. Convenient that Mother Brain and Ridley have the same amount of health. Too bad supers are only double damage on Ridley, though. That being the differentiator.
Nice, and Derp's remembering to damage off Mother Brain's head rather than into her legs. Sometimes you can get sort of caught in the legs and get damaged down way too much.
And Ridley's down for cross product.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much health he went in on, but he didn't come out with very much. Derp uses X-ray to force the stand-up. And plays it really safe by backing up on Mother Brain to avoid getting the baby stuck on her knees. It's a really easy way to soft lock during stand-up, so that Mother Brain can't shoot the baby.
Mm-hmm. Okay, pretty decent stand-up. Looks like about 8 to 10 shots maybe there. If you do it optimally, you can get down to just 1 shot, which is really nice.
Yeah, I've never managed to do it that well.
Having only done it once myself, me neither.
It's really spooky the first few times you do it.
It is. Cross product gonna get his high jump boots here. He'll be happy. It's his favorite item. Well, he'll be relatively, in a relative sense, he'll be happy because he's about to see a dot done, and that's not going to make him happy.
I mean, I think all things being what they are, he'd rather have seen ice there than high jump.
Oh yeah, sure, certainly, but. Yep, and Cross still looking for, it looks like he didn't check those power bombs of shame, so he's still stuck at 10. In the meantime, Derp finishes up with an official SRL time of 1:03:07. GG to Derp. Let's see if Crossprog decides to continue. So to answer the question about speed zeb skip, his comment is, wait, I still didn't learn how to speed zeb skip. And Crossprog does decide to forfeit. So we'll see. We'll see what these guys want to do. We do have another cross-product comment being, I forgive you, X-Ray Scope. Let's never fight again. Yeah, I don't blame cross-product for forfeiting here. They do have another race coming up. Now that we're in the playoffs, there's no bonuses for finishing, win or lose. So we'll get set up for the next race. Let's ask these guys how much time they need. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself for now as we figure things out, but we will go ahead and get set up for the next race. We are going to have game 2 pretty much as soon as we can get it going, so stay tuned for that. Actually, hang on. We actually have Derp looking for an interview, so I'm going to move him in.
Oh, I guess I...
Yo, Derp.
I kind of forgot I can move myself into the live...
Oh, well.
Speed gaming.
Okay, so yeah, GG. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Yeah. We were assuming that we would just go on to the next race, but hey, if you want to interview now, absolutely, let's do it.
Well, I mean, why not? I got an invite, so I took it.
There you go.
I don't have to do the. I can leave if you want.
That's actually your call. We have actually, I mean, you guys are scheduled officially at 8 o'clock, so we have a little bit of time if you want to take it. So, how'd you feel about that seed?
Yeah, I'm down to take a short break in between and do an interview, but I feel really good. I made a couple weird decisions with my routing, but it worked out. And hopefully the next seed is just as free.
Yeah, the decision that really hurt Cross was that he decided to try and go to Shack Tool after Dragon.
What was that Shack Tool?
Well, your credits aren't running, so we'll never find out.
Yeah.
But we narrowed it down to either Spring Ball or what's the other? Oh, an Ice Beam. So we figured the only two places we didn't see checked were that and Plasma. And so one of them had to be Spring Ball and the other one had to be Ice Beam.
Yeah,
but,
unfortunately, I did not look at my credits, and also
there we go. Ice Beam is Spring Ball.
Running.
Okay, Spring Ball had ice.
Oh, I almost went to Shack Tool actually, like when I went up to Meridia the first time, but I decided against it.
Yeah, the problem is when you don't have high jump or space jump, it's really hard to get up there. There are a few tricks you can use to get there.
Oh,
But
so he did like what Scotty did.
yeah, he tried to X-ray climb and failed. I guess he was in the wrong door or something, and then morphed when you're not supposed to morph. Yeah. So yeah, it was just it was a bad situation. Oh, he says okay. Crossproduct in chat saying he jumped. Okay, but either way, he soft locked, and it took him back to Bubble Mountain before his Bubble Mountain checks. At which point he went to the wreck ship, picked up his various suit, but by then he was just too far behind. And the chat, yeah, Owl teaching Cross about which side to do which side to do X-ray climbing. And Cross saying, "You're crap. You're right. You did it on the wrong side."
Where was X-ray again? I don't know if I had X-ray when I went to Meridia.
I believe it was at the reserve tank in Norfair.
Yeah, it was Bubble Mountain Reserve.
So you had it when you went up there to kill Batwoon and Dragon, because I'm pretty certain you did some microwaving, but you certainly didn't have it the first time you went there. So you wouldn't have had you done the Shack Tool check after you checked the sandpit, you certainly wouldn't have had it.
No, well, but Derp would have had bombs to jump.
Yeah, oh, of course, you would have had yeah, there are other ways. My you can do it with bombs, you can do it with the gravity jump, you can do it with the spring ball jump, all of which are pretty crappy.
Well, bomb jumping isn't like too bad. Actually, one thing I do want to note is I actually had some really nice double bomb jumps this run, for whatever that's worth.
Yeah. Actually, I do have a question about that. So you're pretty much in go mode when you went to Lower Norfair. What made you decide to check GT?
Well, I didn't want to bomb jump up or stream in the game. That's basically it.
Okay.
I was hoping it was high jump or space jump, which it was.
Yep, it was. Yep. So that helps. I mean, for Ice Beam, I certainly understood the checks of Ridley and Firefly. You're hoping for that Ice Beam, and same thing with the Gauntlet. I like the Gauntlet check because you get a chance at Ice Beam and a chance at a Power Bomb at the end of it. So.
Yeah, I was. Honestly, the GT check was also kind of for Ice Beam. I didn't have enough power bombs, so I really wanted ice, but I found power bombs instead.
Yeah, I believe at the time you had like just 5 power bombs, which is refill hell if you don't get really lucky. So. Yeah, and Crossproduct complaining because I would have loved to have seen that Crystal Flash clip Cross, and I knew that's what you wanted.
Yep. It's a good thing I did. It's a good thing I got that extra pack of supers as well at the end because I co-jacked 1 billion supers at the end.
Yeah.
But it worked out.
Okay, so let's go ahead and let's see. We'll go ahead and get everything set up for the next race. And again,
that's my cue to leave.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to go ahead and mute myself as well. Thank you, Paper Tiger, for joining me. Thank you, Cheaty Face, for tracking. We'll go ahead and get set up for the next race, and you guys hopefully will stay tuned for that. And hopefully have some good interviewing after that race.